Good morning and welcome to day one of Soccerex Connected, presented by the Johan Cruyff Institute. My name is Ben Jacobs. I'll be your host for the next 5 days. This is our second digital edition of football's biggest ever global conference, and we do hope that you're able to join us throughout the week. And of course, let's hope too that we can meet soon in person. In the meantime, we also extend our best wishes to you. We hope that you are healthy and coping during these difficult times. There are, of course, upsides like these cool digital studios here at Soccerex HQ. There's the makeup filter on Zoom as well. And the fact that you watching us can spend all day with your dog or your family. Do engage with us throughout the course of the day and the week as well. We'll be focusing on how the industry is adapting to the pandemic, and we'll see how fan engagement and brand building are actually on the rise. A few bits of housekeeping though before we get underway. Every single day has a different theme, and today's focus is governance, law and finance. And each theme, as well as the full schedule, is available on your app and also the website as well. As I say, please do engage with us. It is mandatory. Use that hashtag SoccerexConnected. Ask plenty of questions as well. And you can tweet us too with a photo, perhaps of your home office. I'm really interested in where you're watching around the world. Over the course of the next 5 days, I'll try and put some form of global map together. And for added incentive, we're bringing out the prizes. We've got some amazing signed shirts to give away. Follow our socials in just a moment. You'll see a picture of everything that is available. The daily winner will get to pick their favorite from a huge stack of signed shirts. And because today our presenting partner is the Johan Cruyff Institute, we're going to be focusing on football nicknames. Why, you might ask? Well, Cruyff had a ton of nicknames, including the Saviour, and another one that's very apt for me, El Flaco, which translates to the skinny one. I think the guys in the production gallery would prefer to call me the short one, but El Flaco isn't too far off as well for my particular build. So, to stand a chance of winning one of our signed shirts, all you've got to do is either tweet us with your nickname, keep them clean, or your favourite footballer nickname. Send them to @SoccerX, and don't forget to use that hashtag SoccerXConnected. And as I say, if you follow our socials via @SoccerX or mine via @JacobsBen, we'll be posting all of the shirts that are available. They include Laurie Lindsay from the US Women's National Team, Louis Saha, and also Edwin van der Sar as well. So we've got prizes. You must engage. Send us photos. Are you having your morning coffee? You're up bright and early in the United States of America. Are you over in Asia where it's heading towards the afternoon and early evening as well? Let's put together a map and all connect. And don't forget to network as well in between all of the panels. So the full schedule available on our website and the app as well. Prizes to give away, but let's get underway now. And first and foremost, we start with an official welcome here to Soccerex Connected. And it comes from our chair. I'm delighted to say a very good morning to Joe DeGroza.
Hello everyone, my name is Joe DeGrosa and I'm the chairman of Soccerex. On behalf of the entire Soccerex team, I would like to welcome you to Soccerex Connected 2021, our second virtual event. This edition of Soccerex Connected follows our first online event held last September. Since then, we are thankfully starting to see the first signs that our industry is beginning to turn the corner with the widespread introduction of vaccines. Additionally, while last year presented unprecedented difficulties for our sport, both on and off the pitch, it also spurred innovations, which are now positively impacting our industry. Here at Soccerex, our goal for this event is to provide a forum to share with you some of those innovations from leaders in our industry that will help accelerate global football's recovery. Our lineup of industry experts will be discussing the rapidly changing dynamics that are currently affecting our game, whether it's the financial challenges facing leagues and clubs, the uncertainty around what the new normal will be for our industry, or, on a more optimistic note, the ways we can continue to drive fan engagement and continue to grow the game globally. Just as important, we want to provide you with a way to create meaningful and lasting relationships with your industry colleagues, with the goal to help our entire football family excel in this current environment. On behalf of the Soccerex team, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our fantastic event partners, La Liga, Cell Nutrition Sport, and 1930 World Cup conferences and events, as well as our institutional partners, the Asian Football Confederation, Bundesliga, the Canadian Premier League, CONCACAF, Liga Portugal, Major League Soccer, the Mexican Football Federation, the Portuguese Football Federation, United Soccer League, the U.S. Soccer Federation, and of course, SIGA. This event would not have been possible without all of your support, so I'd like to personally thank you. I would also like to thank the companies that joined us in building our event programming, including Cell Nutrition Sport, the Johan Cruyff Institute, Teamworks, and WSC Sports Technologies. For 26 years, Soccerex has been connecting the global football industry and promoting the growth of the game worldwide. It has been a gratifying and fun journey that we couldn't have made or continue to make without your ongoing support, whether it be virtual or in person. So from all of us here at Soccerex, thank you for joining us. Welcome to Soccerex Connected 2021, and please enjoy the event as we hope to see you again at all our upcoming 2021 events.
Joe DeGroza there, Soccerex's chair. Thank you very much indeed. And once again, a warm welcome. This is the second version of our digital edition, Soccerex Connected 2021, biggest ever global football conference. And don't forget, signed shirts are available as well. All you've got to do is tell us your nickname or your favorite football nickname. And that is because today is partnered and sponsored by the Johan Cruyff Institute, and Cruyff himself had so many different nicknames. Remember as well, it is deadline day in the world of football, so maybe have a little bit of banter with us. Tell us who your club is and are you expecting to sign anybody? Now, before we get underway, and every morning all this week, we'll have a special session of around 15 minutes called Soccerex Fast Forward. And myself and Patrick McCrenna, the head of sales and marketing at Soccerex, will look ahead to the day. Patrick is based over in Eastbourne, and magically, by the power of technology, I can say a very good morning to Patrick now. Great to see you, Patrick, looking very suave and smart. And I suppose the starting point before we get into the schedule, based on our competition, is have you got a nickname?
Me personally, maybe not one that I could share, that the kids and the wife call me from time to time, but friends when I was playing football nicknamed me Parky because my legs were like Mark Hughes's. I don't even know what connection was there. And then I was called Dr. Vaslin after Van Brooklyn, the Dutch goalkeeper for a while, but yeah, nothing that stuck, thankfully.
I think he's mostly just known as Mac within the office. Now, Patrick, it's really exciting to be able to kick off Soccerex Connected. And I know that we're going to look back at the first edition and hear from the FIFA President, Gianni Infantino, in just a second. But in terms of what we can expect today, what are some of your highlights?
Well, I think that was one of the more challenging things for me to do. I think the programming this time is fantastic. I mean, they always are at Soccerex events, but this year in particular is completely action-packed, including the additional Soccerex Heritage, which is on later in the day, which has a real look and focus at the origins of the legacy game. I think as part of our core panels, there are a couple that stand out for me. Football is big business. I think we all know that. You know, we all grew up loving a game, and we're now involved in the business side of it, which is, as the panel says, is really big business. And that includes people like Martin Semmens and Tom Vernon, as well as Trevor Watkins and Daniel Cravo. So there's a real sort of hard-hitting panel there. And also one that's quite close to home for me is developing the game worldwide. Obviously, it's hugely important to do that. Can continents like Africa do that without European support? And that involves people like Jason Roberts from CONCACAF and Steve over at Goal Africa as well, Steve Blue. So, yeah, some cracking panels today and the rest of the week to keep us all entertained, I think.
And we get underway at 12 o'clock. We'll hear from the La Liga president, Javier Tebas, in just a moment. But before that, let's look back on the first edition of Soccerex Connected, where we heard from an array of talent, some of whom are joining us again for the second edition. And one of those names is the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino. This was his message to close our last conference.
Dear delegates and friends of football, thanks for being here, and thanks for playing your part in keeping football on the agenda during these challenging and unprecedented times. We are all aware of the damage that this virus has inflicted on our communities, and it reminds us that health comes first. Even before football, health comes first. I would like to thank Soccerex Chairman DaGrosa and the entire Soccerex team for welcoming FIFA and allowing me this platform today. I know other colleagues from FIFA have been involved in various discussions and debates during the course of this week. And I hope it's clear to everyone that FIFA is at the service of football. We are fully committed to finding the best solutions to keep football alive through these difficult times.
That was the FIFA President, Gianni Infantino, speaking at the first edition of Soccerex Connected. Pat, let me bring you in again. This is Patrick McCrenna, the Head of Sales and Marketing at Soccerex. Infantino was raising concerns about the pandemic. And of course, when we first spoke, and he was also talking at our original conference, we were sort of in new territory, weren't we, about how to put on a digital conference of this scale. How have things changed between then and now? And do you feel in a stronger position moving forwards as a digital business through conferences like this?
That's a good question. I think initially when I joined, one of the things that we were planning to do was innovate and enhance the Soccerex experience through content, digital platforms, social media, and all those things that are really important. And it was a slog to move a physical analog business like Soccerex into the digital sphere. But I think that through innovation and a lot of studying different platforms and how to do that, I think that we'll do that a lot stronger. I think we're now in a position where hopefully this year the world goes back to normal and we can put on some physical events, but now we're very well versed in putting together the digital platforms. A lot of people would have seen the new business areas at Soccerex over the last 10 or 11 months, which includes things like social media management, content, public, and all of those things that have enabled us to turn from an events business into a digital media and events business, which is great, really. And I think that going forward, even when the world is back to normal, that horrible phrase that we've all coined now, I think that the digital platforms will be here to stay now that we know how to deliver them, how accessible our clients are, and they are to suggestion of them. And the idea is eventually we'll go back to doing 3 physical events, plus maybe 2 or 3 of these digital standalone events going forward as well, hopefully from 2022.
And Pat, it would be remiss, given we're talking about the inaugural edition of Soccerex Connected, not to start off by paying tribute to Gerard Houllier, who spoke in a fascinating panel on scouting alongside the Liverpool chief scout Barry Hunter. And unfortunately, shortly afterwards, he passed away. Gerard, known for his time at Liverpool, and when he was speaking with Soccerex, he was also the head of global football at Red Bull. And Gerard was always somebody who championed Soccerex. He was part of our family, and just so tragic to see him gone too soon, but great that we had those memories with him here at Soccerex, and even from your own personal point of view via Liverpool, because I know that you follow the Reds.
Yeah, we've all seen an immeasurable amount of loss over the last year or so. And without dwelling on that too much, it would be, like you say, remiss if we didn't acknowledge some of the members of the Soccerex family that have passed, including Diego Maradona, another childhood idol of mine. But Gerard was fantastic, both professionally and personally for me. Personally, I became a dad the year that we won the treble in 2001 at Liverpool. Gerard made that an infinitely memorable year for me. Actually, nothing was ever too much trouble for him, especially when reaching out to him to take part in panels or travel to events at Soccerex. Like you say, he was a sort of Soccerex champion and valued member of the Soccerex family. So it was a huge shock and something that I think some of us are still struggling to get our heads around, really. But he'll be a huge miss.
He certainly will, and we wish Gerard's family well and the Liverpool community rallying around that news as well. And you alluded to Diego Maradona as well, another death that sadly stunned the football community. How will you remember Maradona? Because when I think about him, all of that personality and talent and energy comes to mind. And you can't help but smile. And naturally, most people will go to the hand of God, but we shouldn't forget, in that same game, he scored the goal of the century too.
Yeah, it's really difficult for me to talk about Diego Maradona without getting really personal. He was literally my hero. I was looking forward to meeting him in Miami and ticking something off the bucket list that had been there since a 6 or 7 year old child. So my memories of him are of probably, in my opinion, the greatest to play the game, and one with a huge amount of personality that shone through in the way that he played the game. And I think he should and will be remembered as one of the greatest of all time.
Absolutely, Pat. So let's come back to the schedule today. And you've already given us that overview. Of course, we're sponsored every day by a different partner. And today it's the Johan Cruyff Institute, which is why we're doing that fun nicknames competition in order to give away those signed shirts. I know that you are fully aware of the backstory of the Johan Cruyff Institute, which promotes education and higher level learning and has a good mentor program using a number of big names from the world of football. Why do you think they're such a perfect fit and partner for Soccerex?
I think twofold, really. Obviously, they carry the legacy of the name Cruyff, which is synonymous with football, and I think that education is key. Whether youngsters in that are doing degrees or additional learning post-degree education, or indeed people like myself that might want to add an additional string to their bow professionally. I genuinely think that education is overlooked a lot of the time globally, and the work that they do in carrying the legacy of the Cruyff name can't be overlooked. I don't think it's a fantastic organisation to work with.
So we're going to be starting in just a moment by hearing from the La Liga president, Javier Tebas, and this panel is called View from the Top.